Hey beautiful people, this is Stretch Our Dollars. Welcome to my coffee and caffeine stockpile. This stockpile was built off of clearance deals, penny deals, and freebie deals with Ibotta rebates and Fetch rebates. I will link my referral code for Ibotta and Fetch down in the description below of this video. As you see, we like to stockpile coffee and tea products in various forms, whether it's K-cups to use with our Keurig machines, whether we get it in the espresso form to use with our espresso machines. I like espresso shots, and not as good as the ones I've had in Rome or Florence, but hey, I'm doing what I can do at home for myself. We store instant coffee. We also make a point to not only just stockpile the coffees that we need, but the condiments that go with the coffee, whether it's the creamers, whether it's the MCT oils, whatever it is. Can you spot the penny? Yes, that's Country Roast Folgers coffee. That was 1 penny. Throughout this video, you guys will be discussing various methods of storing these different types of coffee, whether in totes, whether in animal cracker containers. But let's jump right into it. Right here we have some Starbucks Holiday whole bean coffee. We have some different Stumptown coffee. Now, a lot of the coffee that I have, the best way to get some of these premium brands of coffee is to buy it on clearance. I still go to Walmart remodels. There's a couple that are going on right now that I've been frequenting. These Starbucks Via Instant Roast, I actually got them for $1.75, and we know they retail for $8. The Nespresso Starbucks refill pods, I got them for $1. They retail for $8. You'll see that even this Pylon brick coffee was $2.50 on clearance. However, different types of coffee, different flavors are for different people. You would never get Mr. Man to drink this Blueberry Death Wish brand right here. He does not like flavored coffee. Even if I try to slip him flavored coffee, he'll taste it. Now, me, on the other hand, all coffee tastes the same to me. It tastes like coffee and cream. I can smell the different flavors, but I cannot taste it. I drink coffee for one reason only: the caffeine. I like the way it tastes, but I drink it mainly 99.9% of the time for the caffeine. All of these different coffees, remember these guys? These were Taster's Choice. This is freeze-dried coffee in the tube. This, I have it stored in a home edit box. The storage container was a part of a set, 3-piece or 5-piece set I got on clearance. But we were getting those for 1 penny at remodels for years. Here's some more French vanilla penny coffee. We're going to discuss the different filters. We switch back and forth between a basket filter, and sometimes we use the cone filters. Coffee filters, you guys, are like mason jar lids to me. Every shopping trip, I will pick up 1 or 2 packs just to make sure I have enough on hand. I don't want to create any shortages myself for any of you guys. These are coffee stirrers. I got them in a box of 500. All I did was transfer them to a cheap dollar store container. Here's my Cuisinart coffee grinder. A percolator. At the suggestion of my brother, I made sure I had one as well. You never know what type of situation we may be in. This is why you'll see us with so many different types. Even these K-cups that are mushroom coffee, I may pick up 1 just to try it. The twice the caffeine for me. The super coffee. I have protein coffees. Sometimes I even like this extra caffeinated coffee. That was a clearance deal from Walmart. The protein coffees was also a deal at a Walmart remodel. Although this looks pretty, I'm a firm believer in condensing things down. I took the K-cups for the tea out of the boxes, put them in these buy 2 boxes, get 1 free bags from Walgreens inside of the clearance totes for $2 and change from Home Depot. And I'm able to get 500 K-cups in each tote. So guys, I started opening this. I'm putting it in mason jars because look at it. It's recycled packaging, and that's good, but it's just paper. It's just paper. Yeah, they have that seal where they, I guess, shoot nitrogen in there and they vacuum seal it, and it has a little Mylar bag. But for the amount of time that I'm going to store this, I think it's best to transfer it into something else. Oh, that smells so good. But as you can see, there's Mylar inside. It's still just paper. I don't feel like this is anything secure enough to pack away coffee in. So I'm going to put it in the mason jar and I'm going to vacuum seal it. And just so you guys know, this little vacuum sealer, it fully charged to 100%. And I say about 35 minutes it took it to charge. And I just went about the house, went around the house doing other things. See, it tells you on there Type-C charging port, just like my cell phone. And I have a Samsung Galaxy Ultra S, I think 23 or something. I don't know. Mr. Man bought it. So these were $1.50. Ibotta gave a $2 rebate. They were free. This is what I kept after shipping some to my sibling. I repackage, you guys, not just for longevity, but also for space-saving reasons. Another thing that I like to store in these half-gallon mason jars, I like to consolidate the coffee creamer down and put it away for long-term storage. Now, I actually picked up this coffee creamer from a clearance event a while ago, and someone asked me to buy it for them, and then they never came and got it, and I never got reimbursed for picking it up, so I got stuck with the coffee creamer. I could have taken it back to the store, but since I use a lot of creamer in my coffee, I just went ahead and kept it. Instead of dealing with all these oddly shaped containers, I'll just go ahead and, whether it's a pint size or a quart or a half-gallon jar, consolidate them down the best way that I can, vacuum seal them. I won't put an oxygen absorber in because I know from experience that makes it rock hard, and I don't feel like breaking off pieces, putting it in a food processor. It's just extra work. So since I'm the only one that takes cream in my coffee, this will last me, I'll say, about 2 years or 2.5 years. So I don't have to buy coffee creamer again. So beautiful people, I was able to get all of my coffee creamer. I didn't vacuum seal this one away. I'm going to use this one first because of the hydrogenated coconut oil. I don't know how long that'll hold up or last because I've never stored this one from Aldi's too long. But the other ones, I'll just go ahead and put them back in the, sorry about the glare guys. I'll just go ahead and put them back in the box that the mason jars came in. These will probably take me about, I'll say, 4 to 6 months to go through. And that way I don't have to worry about these guys in the plastic containers. I can just put them in a box and stack the box. That's why I do keep my ring on my items that are dry items, never on anything like any canned meat or beans or anything, because if the seal does happen to pop, it's already dry and the ring will hold it on for me. But like I said, I won't put an oxygen absorber in these because I don't need it hard as a brick. And once again, these are my penny jars. And I've been charging with this vacuum sealer for probably about 2 weeks now, and it's just now down to 11% power. I don't even know where the charger is. It takes a USB-C charger, and this is actually the rapid charger for my cell phone. So just to let you guys know, my sister suggested that I get this from Amazon. So this way I can keep doing my vacuum sealing without bringing out my big size food saver, you know, that has the jar attachment on it. So this was about $10. So that was a good deal. And once it's charged, I can just take it and just leave it in the kitchen on the shelf if I choose to, or I can even continue to vacuum seal and do some things if there's a power outage, just to stay busy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just mixing up some of my boxes, you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and put some cardboard dividers in between. This way I have coffee and creamer in the same box, and as I run out or I pull out a new jar and refill my other canisters, I won't have to contend with a whole box of creamer or moving a whole box of creamer just to get to a box of coffee. I'll have them both in the same containers. You guys, so I'm going to just use these as a divider to give a little bump resistance to the jars and push them down in the box. I don't even recall where I got these from. I think they were out of some type of organizer or something, but anything helps. I used to save the vanilla wafer boxes after Mr. Man ate the wafers, and I would cut the boxes in strips and put the cardboard in between the jars. This is just to give a little insurance for the jars clanking together. Because after all of this couponing and clearance shopping and prepping and vacuum sealing, last thing I want is for vibrations from anything to cause them to break. And just so you guys can see, I don't put everything in glass. I got these containers. There was a set of like 40 containers from Amazon. This is our coffee shelf. This is just some leftover candy. So, and I like these because they have a silicone gasket around the inner lid. And I just never know what kind of day it's gonna be. So we may do instant. We may just do some overflow ground because we do have a glass canister of ground coffee on the counter. These I was getting from the Walmart remodel. I know they retail for $8, but I was getting these for sometimes $1.50. I just found a bunch of them for $1. I'll share that deal with you guys. This from Bean Box was a freebie I got in the mail. These are whole bean coffees. And this was also a deal that I got last year from a Walmart that was remodeling, and it had an Ibotta rebate, as well as this raw organic pomegranate powder. So you guys, this is just another idea or inspiration, however you choose to view it, that I like to do. You know, in the stores, some of these items, this is only a 40 count packet of Truvia. I got them for a penny at Dollar General. They're still 1 cent. And even though it says used by May of 2025, it may be used, it may not be. If I open it, the packets, and they're still good and they don't smell and they don't have mold, down the hatch they go. Nonetheless, this is one box. It's opened. Look at how much wasted space is in that box. It doesn't make sense to keep all of these boxes on my shelf, whether, you know, and if you're in the South, you know, sometimes if you're storing things in your garage, you know, something like this unopened, the humidity can be absorbed in the moisture in the air by the cardboard boxes. So this is just one of the items, containers I got out of the Home Edit 3-piece set. I found them on clearance. It's either a 3-piece set or a 5-piece set. I found them on clearance at Walmart for $5. And we all know they range up, they can go up to $25 a set. So I'll just put my stevia in, my stevia, Lord. I will just put my Truvia in here, and I'll show you where we keep it in our drawer. Beautiful people. So beautiful people, I emptied out 2 40-count boxes, and again, these are half-pennied at Dollar General, and it's just the Best Buy use date all the way until next year. If you're concerned with that, I am not. These are the 2 boxes, so that's 80. And then over here I had another 70 of various types, you know, of sweeteners, whether it's Splenda or Equal with caffeine, or this stevia is not a penny. I got this from Walmart with the monk fruit or the organic stevia in the raw, depends on whatever anybody wants when they reach in the drawer. So altogether I got over 100 and some packs in this little container. Still have room for more if I choose, and it just fits right here in the drawer. See, nice and level with the coffee filters and the disposable cutting boards and things. So that's that. Now let me go ahead and put these foil sheets back in here. And these were a deal at Lowe's last year. I think I got them for like $1 and change a box. So beautiful people, now that I have 3 gallons of filtered water, I'm going to go ahead and, sorry about the noise, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my coffee. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the Maxwell House roast, the Wake Up roast. I hope you guys notice that it's the same. It's medium roast. Only thing different is this is 28.4 ounces now, and this one used to be 30.65, but it's the same coffee. And see how they try to make it look like it's the same size, but you're still getting less coffee. And whatever I have left over, I'll just put in my coffee canister that we keep on the counter and just refill that. As you guys can see, this is a medium, like coarse ground coffee, coarse grind, so it's not super fine. And this is what you want to use to make your cold brew coffee. Now, something else I want to talk about, which makes me cringe every time I see it, okay? Just the baker in me makes me cringe. This metal plastic cups like these penny Bake with Love cups that we get at remodels. These are what you use to measure dry ingredients, okay? To measure dry ingredients. I've seen some people measure their coffee in liquid measurers. Don't even do that, especially don't do it if you're baking and you wonder what, some people wonder why their recipes don't come out right. Dry ingredients, liquids, okay? Just my little tip I gotta add, because it's like, oh God, how did that come out? How does that taste? Impossible for it to taste good. So the ratio that I'm using to make my cold brew coffee is a 1:4. So I'm going to use 1 cup of coffee grinds, and then I'm going to use 4 cups of water, okay? Now we all should know by now that there are 4 cups in a quart and 4 quarts in a gallon. So so we all should know by now there are 4 cups in 1 quart and 4 quarts in a gallon. If you look at your measure, you got 4 cups equals 1 quart. 8 cups equal 2 quarts. So this is a half a gallon. If you're just using regular tap water or filtered water out of your refrigerator, 64 ounces. That's why when you grab a gallon of milk or some other liquid, it's 128 ounces because it's doubled, 4 quarts. And please don't feel like I'm being condescending to anybody, because some folks don't know. They just don't. Okay, so you can skip ahead in this portion if you like. So if I have 3 gallons of filtered water in my pot, okay, I'm going to have, for 1 gallon, 4 quarts of water, which is 16 cups. So you guys, with that being said, as far as water goes, I'm going to need 6 of these to equal 3 gallons of water, okay? Or if you're just going to do a small batch and make a half a gallon, you would do 8 cups, and it's 4 cups of water to 1 cup of coffee grinds. So you would need 2 of these, 2 cups of coffee grinds and 1 of these, okay? And then you can just take one of those little plastic bowl covers that we get for a penny and cover this up. These are the plastic cover mate bowl covers that I'm referring to, just in case you want it. Sometimes they still go at some remodels, not all. I haven't seen them go in a while at any that I was at. And you can sit this in the refrigerator, or since it's so cold, some places you can just sit it on a table if you have it in the garage or whatever, or you can put it in a different container that has a lid to it if you feel better that way. So for each gallon, you guys, of water, I'm going to need 4 cups of coffee grinds, okay? So I have 3 gallons. 4 times 3 is 12 all day long, every day of the week. I'm going to get 12 scoops of this. I'm only going to put it in my Pyrex just to hold it before I transfer it over to the pot of water. So out of this 30.65 ounce Maxwell House, I got 10 and about 3/4 cup of coffee. So I'm just going to top this off to make 11, and then I'll open up my second container here, and I'll go ahead and get my 12th cup and add it. Okay, beautiful people, so this is what 12 cups of coffee grounds looks like. And this is what I have left. So it was a whole container and a cup and a quarter out of here, because I went ahead and put the rest in our container that we keep on the canister with the scoop in it. So I'll just put the lid back on this, and after we brew a few pots of coffee, I'll just top that off and discard it. Nothing serious. And I want to say this, the reason why I opted to use this coffee is because it was on sale, but I always try to use the containers that have paper first, okay? That might have a little thin mylar lining, but this is more prone if you have it stockpiled, you know, this thin barrier for rodents or pests to get in it. See inside how the paper is even starting to separate the mylar coating from the cardboard? You know, you don't want to store this too long because you only have a metal top and a metal bottom, and the rest is paper. So this is why I'm, you know, making cold brew coffee out of most of my paper canisters, or I'll transfer them and vacuum seal them into half-gallon mason jars. And we just finished our last half-gallon mason jar of ground coffee that I vacuum sealed back in 2017, and it was just fine. Don't you guys just love being able to have all these penny items? So I'm going to take a new spoon. I didn't have any of the solid spoons, so I'll just use this nylon skimmer, And I'll use this just to give the coffee a good stir once I add it to the water. I didn't want to use any that I had been using for other items because I don't want any grease residue or anything in my coffee. So another penny item for you. And I don't recall. I think these may have pennied during the week and not at a remodel. I'm not certain. But if any of you guys know, just drop that down in the comments so that you know your fellow subscribers aren't running around looking for these in remodels if they're not there anymore. So you guys, I just went ahead, I put the coffee in. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good stir. Good thing I'm ambidextrous because this camera would be all over. I'm just going to get it all wet. I mean, sure, I probably could have tried to tie it up in a cheesecloth bag and dropped it in there, but I didn't. I'll strain this later. I'm just getting it all wet. And I did wash with soapy water my new spoon. So I'm just going to let this sit for, you know, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. And I don't have the luxury to let it sit for 24 hours. So I might go ahead and strain this after 20 hours and get it jarred up. And then you guys can see what I'll do with it next after that. Told you we'd put these Halloween penny plates to use. And you guys, just another tip. I took my stirrer, my spoon, and I wiped the coffee grounds off in the trash. Don't rinse this in the sink because you'll get coffee grounds down your sink and your drain. It'll mix with some kind of oil or something that was in a pan. And next thing you know, you have a clog and you have an unexpected and unwanted plumbing bill, you know. So or you have to go buy Drano, and so it's easy just to take your little paper towel and wipe it off in the trash, or just leave it on the spoon because you're going to be stirring it from time to time. So beautiful people, now that I have allowed my coffee to cold brew in filtered water for 24 hours, I'm going to go ahead and strain it. And I'm going to do this quickly because I am supposed to be on the highway. I'm using some of this cheesecloth I got for a penny from Dollar General at a remodel. And I'll also be using this cheesecloth that I got from Walmart on clearance to strain the coffee. So since I did so much at one time, I can't lift this. I'm not even going to ask Mr. Man to lift it because I don't want coffee staining my floor and everything. So I'll just go ahead and use a ladle once I put the cheesecloth over the camera. So beautiful people, fucking natural. So beautiful people, I opted to go ahead and just dip this 2-quart measuring cup. And all I did was lay the cheesecloth across my Cambro. And I'm going to put this phone down so I don't spill it. So beautiful people, Mr. Man has been assisting me. So far we have 3 of these half gallons of coffee concentrated filled up. I'm working on the 4th one. This is the 2nd Cambro with the, see how nice and rich this coffee concentrate is. And what you would do is water bath these for about 20 minutes is what I do. I usually do it in quarts, but I'm in a hurry today, so I'm doing it in half gallons. And we'll just refrigerate it and drink off of it all week long. So That's just a quick way to make some cold brew coffee. And it's good. We do it like this because sometimes there's been power outages, or I may like a particular flavor, and we can just make coffee without being concerned with brewing the coffee and still have our coffee on the go. So beautiful people, I ended up getting 7 half gallons and an additional 24 ounces. This was half full, but I went ahead and topped it off and left this half full of coffee concentrate. So we know just 1 quart, which this would be 2 quarts, would cost you $8 in the store. So you figure $16 for each half gallon I would have paid, but you know we didn't pay that. So this is another item I got from Dollar General. It says drink on it. I really like these bottles when I saw them. It has silicone inside the lid. So I was thinking, what can I do with these bottles? So I decided to take some of my these are all full, some of my MCT oil and fill up a bottle. I think I put these little bottles of olive oil. I showed these to you guys that I got for like $1 and some cent from one of the Dollar General clearance events. And I think I'll consolidate those and put it in the big bottle. I really hate having a million gazillion tiny bottles around. So beautiful people, I appreciate you hanging in there with me and watching and seeing what I do. I just want to remind you guys, there are looming port strikes, and we do not grow coffee in this country. We grow coffee in one state primarily for commercial distribution, and that is Hawaii. All of our coffee is imported. And I say that as a reminder of the looming tariffs that are about to be put into place with the incoming administration. So over time, these are coffee filter packs. I've packaged coffee up and bought them in bulk, shipped them to relatives. And this is a canister set I got from Belk. That tall one is the coffee grinds that we keep on the counter. And, you know, we're just doing what we can do. So beautiful people, drop me a comment below and let me know, do you have a coffee stockpile, and how do you maintain it? Stay safe, you guys. Be blessed.